All right, folks, welcome to How to File Form 1065X to amend your previous year's filings. And so we're going to fly through this pretty quickly because, again, it's not complicated. Put in your regular information so they can identify you as normally your name, the street address, city, state, etc. The name and address used on the original return. If it's different from this one, if it's the same one, you can just put in same along with your EIN and your telephone number. And then here at the top, of course, you want to type in the corrected month and year that you're correcting. So we scroll down here, this Revenue Service Center where original return was filed. You can put that in there, whatever the address was or wherever you sent it to, or if it was e-filed. There's partnerships and electing large partnerships. Enter the number of Schedule Ks filed with this return. So again, one K1 per partner. Remix, enter the number of Schedules Q being filed. You can leave that blank as it's not applicable. Part 1, check the appropriate box. Choose only one. If your partnership started before January 1st, 2018, unless you're electing BBA, you would know this better than I would, whether you're a TEFRA, AAR, or a non-TEFRA, or an ELPS remix. If it's after, you would know whether it's a BBA, AAR, or non-BBA. So you would determine that, or if it's a partnership partner amended return related to modification of another partner's imputed underpayment, which it is not. So that's certainly not yours. So you would select, if you're not sure, just go ahead and select non and continue on with the next section. Because again, these taxes don't actually even apply to you in reality. So section number 1, TEFRA for non-TEFRA. Has the partnership made an election to be treated as an ELP? This is going to be no, and then you leave that there. Actually, what you would recommend is, yeah, based on that whether. So you would know whether you're supposed to go to section 1 or to section 2 or to part 2, etc. So you would go to the according section, but we're going to go through these. Remember, again, these do not actually apply to you because you are not actually in partnership with the government. You are not in business according to the tax law. So, so none of these, you would fill out this section that you would select applies to you, and then you would simply select no on all of these because, again, they do not apply to you. So you would select, give me 1 second here. Here that says not subject to TEFRA. You would find the ones that are like that, and that's what you would be selecting. So further down, section 2 for BBAAR, you would know if this is what applies to you. You would select here, which is going to be all no anyway, because again, it doesn't apply to you. Is the partnership applying modifications to IU? That's going to be no. Again, a partnership representative, you want to select that here, whether it's someone from your company or if you have us do it for you, a file for you or amend for you, you can have our information in there. Then it says section 3, partnership amended return. Okay, so this is where um, as filed as part of modification of the IU during a BBA audit, which is not the case, so it doesn't apply. And then here is where we start to get back to what it looked like on the previous form. Again, you have no income according to tax law. So you see here, the A column is as originally reported on the Schedule K. So this is where you would put here, whatever you put on the original filing, the original Schedule K is what you would fill out here, and then here's where you would put the corrected information, which is uh, or here, I'm sorry, in C is where you would put the correct information amount, which is 0. So then in B, the net change, you would put minus whatever the total amount was of the original filing, right? Because it's supposed to be zeros across the board. Again, no income, no deduction, no self-employment, no credits, no foreign transactions, no AMT, no other information. This is all zeros unless you previously had taxes, had paid something in these sections, then you would have 0 and you would have nothing to return. If you did, then obviously you would leave that in there so that you can get that amount returned to you. Okay. Keep scrolling down, and then it's the same information. Part 3 for for amended or AAR items or for ELPs, but this is going to leave this blank because again doesn't apply. And then taxes and payments, again, the first column is how it was originally filed. The second column is what the difference is, and then the third column is um, the corrected amount. So all of this, if you have paid these before, you would put that amount there. If you haven't, then it would be all zeros. And then total tax, which is number 10, is where you would put the total amount of all the taxes that you paid for this quarter that you're filing, right? Because that's going to be what you're returning. And then number 11, tax paid with Form 7, let's leave that blank. Tax paid with or after filing of the original, leave that blank. Add lines 11 and 12 is 0. Add overpayment, number 14, as shown on original or as adjusted. So that's what that's going to be the total is. Right? This is going to be the 14 is the total amount of the taxes that you have paid, right? 14 is going to be 0. So then total due or overpayment, total due is going to be 0. Overpayment is going to be the total of the taxes you paid for that quarter of the year. Okay. And just keep scrolling down, keep scrolling down. It says part 4 under the centralized partnership audit regime. You can leave that because that doesn't apply. Then, of course, you sign. Partnership representative signs here for the person that you want to have interact with the IRS or the Treasury. If they decide to ask to give you a call and ask for any information, you can put that in the information there. You can put our information here if you decide to go with us to have us amend this for you. And again, the most important part is this part 5, which is the explanations. You have to give the explanation as to why the correction had to be made. It's the same phrase as the previous one. We are not employers, nor do we have employees as defined by USC 26 subsection 3401D. Therefore, line 27, or in this case, actually, I need to come back here, and it would be line 17 is what the line on this one is. So this is line 17 is to be refunded per USC 26 subsection 3503, and that's it. And then you're done with this form, and you can now move on to the next one, which is going to be the W2C to corrected wages and tax statement. So we'll see you there.